running convoys, 2 months and a night loading operation, everything. And let me just see here. Okay, one of the nicest thing I was proud of, and my sergeant said, Lieutenant, if they catch you, they're going to hang your butt. In the convoys, we mostly had ammunition, but numerous times we had PX goods besides lumber, and we carried the landing mat for the runways, the big metal things that they had.
Marston matting?
It was a metal thing that, you know, they put together and to make the runways and everything. Yeah, okay, that I didn't know the name, but so we carried all that stuff. But we carried PX goods and everything, so I tell the lead sergeant, I says, and I usually had one of my drivers in the third vehicle in a convoy. And I said, Sergeant, when we get to the bridges that are blowing up and the creeks and everything where the trucks got to go through and everything, let the soldiers know that the third vehicle in a convoy help themselves to beer and soda. Sergeant, Lieutenant, you ever get caught? They were really going. I said, these guys, we're drinking 3-2 beer. 3-2 beer is like drinking a 24-ounce glass, okay, with ice in it, filled with Coors Light or Miller Lite or whatever. I mean, it was just, and these guys are in the middle of no place, and there's usually, I don't know, 20, 25 guys at the bridge, at each, these are all the checkpoints and stuff we had. So, and our tractor trailers had, first of all, wood sides, okay, and then it got to be difficult to get them offloaded with forklifts up in Playco and the ambulance supply point. So then they started tying things down. So the guys that get up there, and they got to know who Bluetooth 3 was. That was my call sign. They got to say, hey, Lieutenant, thank you, give me thumbs up and everything. So I never had a problem, never got in trouble or anything doing it, so that was it. But one of the other good things I did was Christmas of 1967. First sergeant comes into the officer's quarter one night, and he tells the captain, Captain Landis, George Landis, super officer, everything, and the other two lieutenants, 3 lieutenants and a warrant officer. He's the maintenance officer and everything. And he says, officers, the sergeants don't want to be Santa Claus. And because of color and other things and everything, and I says, I know how to do that. I used to ride around with my father all through growing up, okay, and even in college when I was home and everything, and he did stuff for our church and everything, and we'd take turkeys and food to families that needed it and all that stuff and everything. And he played Santa Claus for the kids, so ho, ho, ho. Now, back in those days, I needed a pill. My wife's good cooking. I don't need a pill anymore. So, but that was good. I enjoyed that. That was fun to be, you know, to take care of the guys. And the other thing I enjoyed doing, and we heard all the negative stuff about Vietnam and everything. I used to sit with my enlisted men, my platoon, in their quarters. We had a decent compound and everything, and sometime I'll get the pictures and stuff that I had. But anyways, and we would talk just like we're talking now, okay? And officers, a lot of lieutenants got a bad ranking or a bad, you know, rep and everything, okay? They just, but I was trained well at St. Patrick's. I was trained well at Niagara University to take care of people and so take care of your men. So anyways, sit there and we talk about what they're doing at home, and you know, the communists and all the other stuff, what's going on up to the area and everything. And I think one of the best explanations, I saw the Green Berets a couple months ago, and in the start of the movie they were interviewing, they had a sergeant there, and they had all these newspaper people and TV people and everything, and they're trying to grill this sergeant, and the sergeant says to, I think it's David Jansen, the actor, whatever, and he was giving the sergeant a hard time, and he says, you guys, you all have nurses back in your community, right? And, yeah. you got teachers and everything, and you got politicians and everything. You know what's going on in Vietnam? They're all dead. They've all been killed. So, you know, you're all finding fault with what we're doing. We're trying to help people and everything. And then he shows this board, and it's got all these different weapons on. And he said, this one is from Russia, this is from China, this is from Czechoslovakia. It's got all these different weapons. And these are the weapons that we are getting throughout. Wherever we are, okay, it's different weapons. And besides, he should have put the M1 carbines in some of ours, because as I showed you, this little wound I have very well could be an M1 carbine, because in some of the ambushes that we had, we picked up U.S. weapons from these NVA. It's usually NVA where we were, because it's way up north. The VC were more towards the that was really something. I enjoyed doing that. The guys were, and had a good relationship with my guys and everything. And I had a young black driver and everything. And he says, "Lieutenant, I want to be your driver." And I says, I think his name was Aaron or something. I said, "You got 3 kids, right?" And he says, "Yeah." I says, when you want to be my driver, and when the S hits the fan, we are the first ones there. We got to be there. No hesitation. We got to go. He says, "I'm staying in the military. I want to learn how to be a sergeant and how radio procedure, all that stuff happens." So that was real nice and everything. During Tet, okay, and I'll finish my last story with this other thing, but during Tet, we knew something was going on. The Montagnard people, the dark-skinned mountain people that are called Montagnards, you'd see them walking down the road in groups of 15 to 50 or whatever, and anytime you saw that, something's going to happen the next day or 2 days later. And we started seeing that before the end of January, when they said it's going to be a vacation for the NVA, VC, and soldiers, have a good time, everything, okay? So anyways, we're during Tet and everything, and hell's going, everything is breaking loose. So the running time from Pleiku to Quin Yin, to our trailer transfer point in Shrine Valley, was usually 3.5 hours, okay, 100 miles, 3.5 to 4 hours, whatever the hell, depending upon traffic. So I have a meeting at 2:45, 1,500 hours with my men and everything, and I got, I guess it was 35 tractor trailers, and they're all empty. There's no armored personnel carriers tied on, nothing. We're not bringing anything back. We're all flatbed empty. And I tell the sergeant, I said, set sail at 35 miles an hour. And I don't know how far, if we're spread out and everything, and how we are, but I want you to go. We got to get the hell back there. So anyways, we go through, we set sail and everything, and we're coming down the passes, and the trailers are going sideways. There's no other vehicles on the road. There's nobody. There's no buses. There's no Vietnamese. There is nothing on the highway, just the 8 transportation convoy. So we get there, and the first sergeant gets in, the lead sergeant and everything, and he says, Bluetooth 3, you're going to have company when you get here. So I'm one of the last ones, keeping the guys all spread out and doing all this stuff, and we know. And the kids, my men come into the trailer transfer point, tractor trailer, they're sliding them around. They got dust and dirt all over the place, and they're all going crazy. This is the greatest convoy they ever had. They are just, they've been going 55, 60 miles an hour, okay, all the way. No, thank God nobody got hurt or anything. So here's yeah, that's how fast we were going. I mean, to be all together and everything, okay? Normally you're only running 30, 35 miles an hour. And we're in the 50 range, okay? With tractor, we're all coming, you're going, no hills, we're coming down hills. We're not going up any hills. We're going 4,000 to sea level. So we get in there, and I'm one of the last ones in, and here's Major Frank Rudolph. He is the group operation officer. So he's there, and I got to go over to him, and he starts chewing my butt out in front of all the men. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, they don't chew out subordinates. And so anyways, and he's really, what the hell are you doing? And driving, you made the trip 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're there at the first vehicle there was at 5:15 from 3 o'clock, right? And he's and everything. So he's chewing me out, and they're all, this is the way convoys should be run. This is the best convoy. Leave the lieutenant alone. They're all howling in the background. And I'm just going, be quiet, all this stuff. So he says, we might bring you up in Article 15 court-martial charges and everything for reckless driving and reckless, endangerment and all the other stuff and everything. And I said, there goes, and I'm hung. Okay, so.
You going too fast.
Oh yeah, we made the time. Yeah. There's nobody on the road. We never passed a vehicle going the other way.
You're also coming downhill. Like
I said, the last words I said, Major, you have 35 tractor trailers, you have 35 drivers, we have we have 3 gun trucks in a quad 50 gun truck, okay? We are all set to go tomorrow to go back to Pleiku with ammunition for what they need. We did what the heck we were supposed to. I know, and I'm in communication with my sergeants, okay? If there's people out there, then, hey, slow it down, okay? But we set sail. So I go back to operations. We have to check in when you get finished and everything. And walk in, and here's the captain in charge and everything, and his sergeants, and they're sitting there shaking their head. Lieutenant, we couldn't believe you. They said, when the first lead sergeant calls a checkpoint when he hits it, and then the last sergeant calls the rear checkpoint, so the road is closed then. We're the last ones. There's no other American soldiers on the road, okay? He says, the guys in the office, okay, that are writing down on a big map, such and such time, and they said they never sat down. They never sat down for 2.5 hours. Oh, there's like, I don't know, 40, 50 checkpoints we got to go through and everything, right? And then we said, yeah, then Major Rudolph comes in and everything, and he said, what the hell's going on? He said, those guys aren't, Donegan's convoys they're really coming down quick. So that kind of put a fire in him and everything, so he went after me. But one of the very toughest convoys I had there, convoy was during Tet, okay, and we're going from Quinyan to Anke, and a tanker convoy, okay, they leave before we do, okay, because they're in Anke. We take almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to Anke for the 50 miles. So the convoy got hit. Tankers, they got MoGas, diesel fuel, JP4, all the fuel, the whole, 9 of them destroyed. The road is closed, all hell broke loose and everything. So we're stuck in Anke that night. So the next morning, I got my convoy, another convoy from the more tankers and everything, and this major comes up and he says, you 3 or 4 lieutenants, who's the senior guy? Well, Donegan, I'm senior. You're giving the briefing, okay? Yes, sir, okay. So I get up there in front of all these tanker guys and my guys and everything, and I said, guys, I'm sorry that, with the convoy, the ambush you had yesterday, I think, thank God, nobody got killed. I think some guys were hurt and everything, but